We're making a great steak pudding today from the English Art of Cookery 1788. Thanks for joining us today on 18th Century Cooking with James Townsend and Son. So it's been a long time since we've done any meat recipes, and I thought this one is quite interesting.
No, I'm excited about this.
It's only got just a few ingredients. It's got flour, it's got suet, a little bit of water. We're going to make that into a thick paste.
Right.
Then we're going to put in to that paste the meat that we've cut up fairly finely, right?
Right. This is 2 pounds of round steak. I'll slice this into thin slices, and you can season it. Season that with salt and pepper, and it's ready to go.
So let's get started on our paste, and this is just as simple as it could possibly get. We've got flour here, right? How much?
About 3 cups of flour,
3
and
cups.
this is a fine.
Just unbleached flour.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And I've got about 14 ounces of suet. Now, if you don't know what suet is, or even if you think you know what suet is, I would suggest you watch our video on suet.
So we just need these two things, the 14 ounces of suet, the 3 cups of flour, and a little bit of cold water.
This is going to make a pretty stiff paste.
So before you get started with this, the very first thing you want to do is get a couple of large pots of water boiling while you're doing the prep work. So I'm going to lay out the cloth here, and now we can go ahead and flour that so that our pudding doesn't stick. We've got a bowl here to help shape it.
Right.
And now we can get that our pre-rolled out paste into our cloth. And that makes a nice little, a little dough bowl here to put this in.
Okay, so now it's time for the beef, right?
Right, we're gonna make a ball of meat in the center of it.
All right, so that was quick, but I have a feeling there's a flip side to this recipe.
The flip side is that this takes forever to boil. How much did we use in this one?
We have about 2 pounds.
2 pounds. This one should take 3 hours to boil at least. And if it's bigger than this, it might take 5 or 6 hours, depending on how much meat you've got in this. The bigger the ball is, the harder it is to get to that temperature to get to the center.
And that's why you have the 2 pots boiling, right?
Right. You always want to have the pot full, and when it starts to boil down too far, you need to add more water. And you don't want to add cold water because that'll bring the temperature down. So you want to add hot water to it. So you want to have 2 pots ready to go. One always to be cooking, and the other one to be refilling the pot if you need to refill it.
Okay, well, how about if we go on ahead and
So we just
close this up?
So we got this all together. I'll let you go ahead and tie it.
Yeah,
get some string in there.
Some puddings you tie loosely, some puddings you tie tightly. This one is one that you want to tie tightly. Now, I just tied a loop on there because we may need that loop to hang this to let it cool just a little bit when it's done. So, all right, I think that's ready to go. Our water's boiling.
Let's get this into the water.
Okay.
Now again, you want to make sure that your water is boiling before you put your pudding in, and make sure you have that standby water ready if the water gets too low in your pot. When it's time, you've got your 3 hours or longer in, and you think this is done, it's now time to take it out. You can let it drain for a moment or two so that there's not too much water there around the pudding, and then you can dunk that in cold water to cool that off, and that'll help release the cloth. There we are.
There, we have a little bit of peel away, but look at that crust though. Look at that pastry. Wow.
So, I guess we're gonna break in and see what it's like, huh?
I can't wait.
Okay.
Oh, John, you know what we need for this?
Mushroom ketchup.
There you go.
Okay.
You first.
A bit of mushroom ketchup. It looks like it's completely done. It's completely cooked all the way to the center, so we don't have to worry about that. The paste is set up, of course, perfectly. And this it kind of reminds me of those meat pies, those pasties. Yeah, pasties. So let's give these guys a try. And of course we get Wow.
Wow.
A wonderful mix between the paste. The meat is cooked perfectly, and that holds the juices in too. Instead of just like boiling the meat, which was another choice in the time period, which would have boiled away a lot of the flavor. In fact, that's one of the reasons why they would put a boiled pudding in with their boiling meat, so that that pudding would absorb some of that flavor. So here we've got that meat flavor has gone into the paste, and it's cooked it and kept the juices in.
Right. That's just like roast beef. I mean,
Right.
Wow, that is fabulous. This has got my vote, John. I think this is in the top tier of recipes that we've done.
It certainly is excellent, and it's an easy way to cook this meat with very little equipment. You can really, that same kind of boiling thing. All you need is a pot, basically, to cook this in. So it turns out wonderful. I really want to thank you for coming along with us as we savor the flavors and the aromas of the 18th century. If you're new to our channel, I want to welcome you. You can subscribe by clicking the button right up here. Also check out our related videos. Thanks so much for watching.